You've noticed that, in the recent games that Garnacho has played, he has tried to play with his team. Obviously, he's no longer playing as a winger as he used to do under Eric Ten Hag. He's now playing as a number 10 in the 3-4-2-1 setup of Ruben Amorim. But you can see that he's now trying to neat play a little bit. He's trying to create chances for other people before just taking on the shot for himself. A good example can be drawn from Alejandro Garnacho's assist against Arsenal in the FA Cup. The reports in the media suggest that Manchester United winger Alejandro Garnacho is on the verge of leaving the club. Top journalists such as Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein, and the likes have already suggested that clubs like Napoli and Chelsea are in for the signature of the Argentine winger. In fact, Antonio Conte was already reported to have spoken with Alejandro Garnacho, trying to convince him to join Napoli. So let's talk about Alejandro Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho was signed just at the age of 16 from Atletico Madrid's academy. And, he spent a couple of years at Manchester United's academy, winning the FA Youth Cup in 2022. He also made his debut that same season in a match against Chelsea, under, of course, former United coach Ralph Rangnick. And, of course, ever since then, he has, become a very important member of the squad for Manchester United. It was last season that Garnacho played the most for the club, making 36 Premier League appearances, scoring 7 goals and providing 4 assists. However, recently, Garnacho has, struggled, to say the least. Many Manchester United fans have gotten a little bit frustrated with him, specifically for his poor decision-making. Now, poor decision-making is largely something that we associate with a player of Garnacho's age. He's just 20 years of age. But still, many United fans have been frustrated at how Garnacho has, struggled with poor decision making. So for that reason, I've looked across board and I see that quite a few Manchester United fans don't particularly have an issue seeing Garnacho leave the club. And in this video, we're going to try to examine the 3 main reasons why I think Manchester United selling Alejandro Garnacho would be a mistake. If you're in for that kind of thing, stick to the end of this video. My name is Goodness Eze, and keep watching the Football Slides TV. Do well to like the video, do well to subscribe to the channel, and click on the notifications button so that you get notified when there is new content on the Football Slides TV. So let's look at 3 major reasons why I believe that Garnacho leaving United would be a mistake on the part of Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. The first reason why I believe that Manchester United selling Garnacho would be a mistake is because Garnacho is a player with lots of untapped potential. Garnacho has a lot of potential. Now, his ego might be a little bit of a problem. He follows Cristiano Ronaldo and he, wants to be the CR7. Some people joke and say he wears CR7 boxers all the time and he's always wanting to be like Ronaldo, his idol. So he has a lot of ego. Yeah, that's normal. And that's actually something that happens to many of the best players. Every player that is good has an ego, and Garnacho does. Now, his ego might not exactly match his ability now, but he has the potential to get there. Now, currently, he has an ability that is good enough to be a squad player for Manchester United. You will argue and say he doesn't have the ability to be starting week in, week out for United. And I actually agree with you on that. But it's not out of place to say Alejandro Garnacho has the potential to be one of the best players in his position. Garnacho is 20 years old. He has all the space in the world to improve, and work on the things that currently he is not so good at. And more importantly, he has the determination and the hard work. And I believe that's one of the most important things a player should have. It's not so common to see a player that's a finished product. But once you see a player that might have a little bit more rough sides to his game, but has the determination and, is ready to work hard and graft on the training pitch and even during the games to ensure that he improves on the parts that he's not so good at, I mean, you would see that such a player would actually become one of the best in the world. It's normal. And so far, we have seen that over the past few games where Garnacho has featured for Manchester United, we've seen that Garnacho has tried to adapt his game. Many United fans have complained about the fact that, Garnacho is selfish. He doesn't like to pass. He likes to, he makes the wrong decision many times. When he's supposed to pass, he will shoot. When he's supposed to shoot, he will pass. He doesn't play with his team. And so you've noticed that, in the recent games that Garnacho has played, he has tried to play with his team. Obviously, he's no longer playing as a winger as he used to do under Eric Ten Hag. He's now playing as a number 10 in the 3-4-2-1 setup of Ruben Amorim. But you can see that he's now trying to neat play a little bit. He's trying to create chances for other people before just taking on the shot for himself. A good example can be drawn from Alejandro Garnacho's assist against Arsenal in the FA Cup, where he took the ball, ran half the length of the pitch, and he could have decided to, go himself the way he used to do before, but he laid a perfect pass for Bruno Fernandes, who of course had a great finish to give United the lead in that particular game. And after that goal, Bruno Fernandes, he pushed Garnacho to the fans to tell the fans to celebrate him, because that goal was made by Garnacho. He won the ball and created the goal. That's a good example of Garnacho being determined, working hard to change his game, to ensure that he becomes the player that he has the potential to become. I saw a stat that made the rounds all over Twitter, and it was very telling, because it showed that it was a graphic that showed that Alejandro Garnacho has made about 37 goal contributions, in the top 5 leagues since the 2021-2022 season, which is the most of any under 21 player. And when I'm talking about under 21 player, I'm talking about, including the likes of Lamine Yamal, who is one of the best players in the world. Okay, that's, even though he has played more games than these players, but even the fact that he has played more games not only shows you how United have struggled, but also shows you how important he has been to the United squad recently. Now, speaking of the state of Manchester United squad, another reason why I believe that Garnacho should not be sold by Manchester United is because of, like I said, the state of the squad. Now, United are not just lacking in quality, especially in forward areas, they're also lacking in quantity. Now, with the departure of Anthony, Manchester United are only left with Amad Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, who is an outcast, Mason Mount, who is never fit, and of course, Alejandro Garnacho in those number 10 areas that Amorim likes to use. So if Garnacho should leave, coupled with the fact that Rashford is an outcast and might, end up leaving as well, also coupled with the fact that Mason Mount is never fit, you're left with just Amad Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, and that spells trouble. Now, even if Manchester United managed to find a replacement, okay, they might have increased the quality of those areas, but they have not increased the quantity. In fact, they've reduced the quantity, because they will be selling about 3 players. Anthony has gone, Rashford may go, and if Garnacho should go, that's 3. So can Manchester United afford to bring 3 more players into that position this January? I don't think so. So by selling Garnacho, you are not just, letting go one of your better squad players, but you are also limiting the potential of that squad. So that spells a potential problem for Manchester United. When the games are coming in thick and fast, they will need a full squad, as full a squad as possible. And letting Garnacho go, they've let Anthony go, letting Rashford go as well. And of course, the fitness situation of Mount is going to be a major problem for Manchester United squad. And listen, Garnacho may not be a starting player for United at the moment, but he has, he brings something different when he comes, off the bench. He has this counter-attacking threat that none of United attackers currently are. Probably you would argue Amad Diallo as well. Largely Amad Diallo likes it to fit. Currently, the only 2 players in the United team that love to run in behind, are the likes of Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho. And currently, it looks like those 2 players will be the ones to leave. So if those 2 players leave, United will just be so one-dimensional in attack, and against teams where they would have a high line and United will want to play on the counter-attack, it will be difficult to find the players that will be well suited to that kind of system. Now, the third and final reason why I think Alejandro Garnacho's sale could possibly be a mistake for Manchester United is the fact that it's difficult to find a suitable replacement in January. Now, listen, if the only way I would say this could be a good idea is if United have already not just identified a replacement, but started negotiating with a replacement, from the start of the month. Because listen, it's no news that it's notoriously difficult to find, good players in the January transfer window. Notoriously difficult. And like I said, if United have not started negotiating already, I believe it might even be too late. I mean, by the time you're watching this video, the transfer window might even be over and Garnacho might be close to a sale. So if they are going to sell Garnacho, they must have started navigating, trying to get a replacement by now. But so far, we're not hearing so much. We're hearing rumors of the likes of Brian Mbeumo. And of course, we know that they are already negotiating for a left wing back, Patrick Dogu from Lecce. But I mean, Patrick Dogu cannot play Alejandro Garnacho's position. It's not his major position, even though he can play there. But, so it's clear that United need to really move fast if they are to get a replacement. And currently, it doesn't look like that is on the cards. If Garnacho should go, you would end up seeing Manchester United, settling for a loan or a panic buy, which is what they have done so far, in the past and did not work. So if United are going to get better, there needs to be a different approach, getting players that actually fit into the system, that fit into the long-term philosophy of the club, and finding a stopgap replacement for Garnacho, which is what they will most likely be doing if they sell Garnacho, is not going to be a solution to that problem. So these are the 3 reasons why I think Alejandro Garnacho should actually remain at Manchester United, at least for now. He has he's on a long-term contract. He's not on crazy salary. United can let him develop more at the club. In fact, if Garnacho develops more at the club, just the way they did with Cristiano Ronaldo in 2009, by the time United decide to sell him, they might be selling him for close to 100 or 150 million pounds. But instead of, what they're talking about 40 million, 50, 60 million. I mean, that's good money considering it's pure profits because of the profit and sustainability rules. But I mean, considering what you're going to be losing, considering how the fact that you might struggle to find a replacement, it's not that worth it. And United squad is not really worth that much, shake up. They need to really bring players more than selling players. That's what I think. You may have a different opinion. If you do have a different opinion, or if you agree with what I said, or you have something else you want to add, do well to add that in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. There'll be so much more content coming up on the Football Slides TV. So stay tuned. Do well to subscribe to the channel. Click on the notifications button so that you get notified when there's new content on the channel. My name remains Goodness Eze. Keep watching the Football Slides TV. Bye.